Alright, so you've seen plenty of my face today, but I wanted to give you a visual of what I did tonight. Those coats that are all in those bags, those are 12 families. That's what that represents. 12 families who we're going to be able to help. 26 coat needs, 12 families. That's what's left. I have a before picture too before I started packaging them up of all 67 coats hung up. That is, I'm not even sure how many that is. So if there's 67 minus 26, what is that? Usually I'm better at math. 67 minus 26, is that 41 coats? So that's 41 coats left. Pretty bare. So those who are ready and willing and able to pass a background check that want to help deliver our coats, believe me, well, hopefully, if it's anything like last year, this will be the very, very beginning. So I just wanted to show y'all what that looks like. This is my basement. It's pretty clean. I keep my fabric down here so you know it's clean, because I love my fabric. So, but yeah, this is where I get the coats. I put the coats when I receive them so that they're ready to package. I keep them all in order by size so they're easy to find and package. I am very, very organized when it comes to this project. When it comes to most things, actually, but especially this project, I take it very seriously, helping these kids, because it matters to me. You know, it's interesting. I think that our childhood experiences, I think that they shape a lot of who we become. You know, today's my dad's birthday. Happy birthday, Dad. I called him, don't worry, earlier today. But my experiences growing up is I watched my dad help people a lot. He is somewhat of an icon in his profession and in our community at home because of his willingness and able to go to great feats for those that need his help. And, you know, it's a start here, this project. To be completely honest with you, my hope was before the first cold weekend to get all of our current needs met. And so far 26 of them for sure will be met. Hey, I'm proud of that, but I'm also very disappointed, if I'm being completely honest. I'm disappointed in all of us. We could do better, y'all. We really can. I'm going to take some responsibility for that because I am clearly not communicating how important this need is to you in a way that makes sense. And I need to figure that out. But I also need y'all to work with me because I'm also just a human being who's doing the best she can. And I want to help. And I know what good this did. It was an incredibly eye-opening, life-changing experience last year when we did it. It was amazing, but it was also heartbreaking. And that's why when this year came by, I really seriously debated doing this project again. I knew it would be harder this year. This year's been hard for all of us. It's been a transformative year. But I also knew that if I didn't help, I didn't know if these kids would get coats if I didn't lead this project. I didn't. Like the kids that we get coats to, that we help, they're kids who back in 2019 couldn't get coats through school even. Schools had run out of the coats. This year, a lot of kids aren't even in school. And you know, I remember growing up and watching my dad facing just impossible odds to help some people. And really impossible odds. And him going through great, great feats and great lengths to do anything in his power to help those that needed his help, his specific help. And sometimes it wasn't enough. Everything that he could do, it wasn't enough. And sometimes he failed. But more often than not, he succeeded. And I believe that he succeeded because after he did everything within his power, as imperfect as it may have been, he relied on hope and faith and the good people in his community to pull the rest of the way. And I'm asking y'all to help me do that. I know I haven't been perfect in how I've organized this, but I have really tried, y'all. And I just need a little bit of extra help from you, a little bit more understanding from you. Maybe make up for the gaps where I'm not communicating how important this need is in a way that makes sense. And reach within yourselves and find it yourself. I've been talking to a few marketing people. Believe it or not, I did marketing a while back for about 10 years, actually a little bit more. But my passion isn't in marketing anymore. And so I think as a result of that, I'm not as good at marketing in a way that makes sense to people. My passion now is in real estate. And why is it in real estate? It's because I have this whole idea, this vision even, of what it could be like if people could actually afford their homes. And the system there is so broken. And why am I passionate about people being able to afford their homes? It comes down to the kids. It's really all it's about for me. Because rent is the single most expensive thing, and it's getting crazy here in Utah, and it has been for a long time. But I feel like if we can eliminate that one stressful thing in a family's experience, in a family's life, make it doable, how much happier as a society could we be? And that's where my passion comes, because these kids deserve to grow up in happy families with their needs met. Please help. I'm choosing to do what my dad did. I'm choosing to rely on y'all to pull me and our other volunteers that have helped out so far the rest of the way. Because as of right now, 26, we have 131 outstanding needs, 26 of those, so we still have 105 needs. It's supposed to be cold this upcoming weekend. How are we going to do that? I've done everything within my power to get these 26 coats. Now granted, we have another 12 coats ready to go, but they're in families that require 1 or 2 more coats that we don't have, and so I can't send those until I have the entire family's coats for numerous reasons. I need your help. Please help me. Please. I beg you, please. For the kids, I do this because I've seen the difference this makes. I do this because right now I can't help with decreasing people's rent. I'm learning, but I'm not there yet. But I can help this way. I am a very good leader, and I am a very good organizer of projects, and I am very meticulous when it comes to those kinds of details. I am very thorough in the cautiousness and carefulness that we need in order to approach projects like this. And that's how I can contribute. I want y'all, if you would be willing, to reach within yourself and find out maybe you don't have money, but I bet you have some used coats. And I bet they're sitting in your garage or in your kids' closets that no longer fit them or they no longer like. We could sure as hell use those, y'all. Please help. Please. Because no kid deserves to go without a coat. None. No kid does. I think when it's warm, we forget how cold it gets here. I remember my first Utah winter. I was a freshman at BYU. And I remember the first time feeling snow, and being from Georgia, that wasn't something we experienced, or if we did, it was half an inch one time a year, and that was not every year. And I remember it being freezing. And it was so weird to me that the week before I had been in the 60s, but that's Utah weather for you. We live in a bowl, and that's what happens. And these kids, none of these kids chose to live in Utah. None of them. We all, as adults, in some way or another, choose to live here. Utah was never part of my long-term plan, but I chose to have a daughter with a man who lives in Utah. And I've learned to accept that, but that was still my choice. It was my choice, and I would do anything for my daughter. And it's my choice to stay here because it's in her best interest for her to have both parents around her. I would never take her away from her dad because he's a good dad. And I made the choice to be here. We as adults, we make the choices to be where we are. We may not even realize that we make the choices, but I promise you we make the choices to be where we are. Sometimes it's in the form of a consequence. Sometimes it's in the form of an opportunity. I'm asking y'all to take this opportunity, do something good. I promise you, you will be repaid, maybe not financially, maybe not materially, but you will be repaid in a way that money cannot buy. You will change because I have, because of this experience. If y'all know me, you know that when I get in my head that I'm going to do something, I almost never quit. I'm not going to say never because I totally have before once. But when I have it in my head where like this has to happen, I will go through great lengths, just like my dad taught me to make it happen. But y'all, it would sure as hell be a lot easier if y'all would help me out here. And I would love if you'd make my life just a little easier. I plan to go full force, 100%. I want us to be just like last year, where we met every single coat need that we received. Every single one. You know, this year, it felt so good to me when I was posting in my groups. People were asking me, how do you choose which children get the coats? And you know what I got to say? To be honest, I haven't had to choose yet. That felt incredible. Because can you possibly imagine how difficult it would be to decide which kid gets a coat and which doesn't? It's not a choice I want to make. And I don't plan to. I will go through the ends of the earth for these kids because they're our kids. And they deserve to know that people care, no matter what is going on in our lives. I'm asking y'all, see this? This is what I have left. See this? Of the 37 families that I promised we would help out, so far we can only help 12 of them. Please help me be a part of this. This is a community project. Be a part of this and help me help these kids. I promise you there is nothing of greater satisfaction than at the end of this project when you can sit and know that every single child that reached out to you with a need, you were able to help. We all have that power. Last year when I started this project, I had no money. I was in so much debt, you guys cannot possibly imagine. It was scary. It was one of the scariest things I've ever been through. It was so scary. But you know what? I saw this need. And I kept seeing people ask for these. And I promise you, these needs right now, we have 131 that we need to fill. This need will go up significantly, exponentially, as soon as it gets cold. But I saw that need that needed to be helped, and nobody was doing anything. So I had no money. I had no resources. I didn't know that many people who had coats to give away. But I knew that I could connect people, because that's a talent of mine, is connect those who have needs with those who are able to fill them. And not only that, it's not a symbiotic relationship. It's not like you're just giving money or giving coats or giving time. It's a mutually beneficial relationship. These kids get coats, you get something 10 times more. I can't quite explain what that is that you get, but it is this knowing deep inside your heart, this knowing that you made a difference, and no one can ever take that away from you. No matter what kind of position you are in, if you are in the position to donate $100, if you're in the position to donate $5, if you're in the position to donate one windbreaker, if you're in the position to deliver one coat package to a family, reach within yourself. Maybe you can help out with our project in other ways that I haven't even thought of yet. Reach in yourself and ask yourself, how can I help? That's the theme of this year's coat drive. And I promise if we all do this together, we could absolutely transform our community. And I truly believe that from the very bottom of my heart. And with my full heart, I believe we could transform our community if we all stepped up and stepped in and we got together. Please, y'all, I'm begging you. Please. It's not for me. It's not for anybody but these kids. And as a reward to helping, You will get something so much better. You will feel amazing. And since last year when I did this coat drive, I've had quite a few low moments still. I've had some other things that have happened that have been very difficult for me to get through. But one thing I've been able to keep in my mind every time that one of those come on, I'm like, I can do this. I can get through this. I led a project that got 728 kids coats last year. We can all be a part of that. You can do that. I may be leading this, but one thing I also learned last year is leading is not the meat of this. The leading is more just like the direction we're going. I'm going to lead us in the direction we're going. But when we work as a community, we will accomplish such amazing things. Please help. I'm kind of rambling at this point, but I think you get my message. I need help. I need money, and I'm going to need a lot of it if I can't find coats like I have not been able to. Or I'm going to need you guys to go through your closets, go through your kids' closets, go through your garages, go through your storage units. Find these coats, please. Please. Thank you.